peeps, and welcome back to another video of mine. I'm so sorry I've been away for about 4 weeks, I think, maybe 3. I'm not quite sure. I lost complete track of time. But a lot of things have been going on, such as me finally getting a proper microphone and headset so that I don't have to use my phone anymore, so that's good. And I've been having some issues with the monitor as well, so that's another reason why I decided not to record, because that thing just kept making all sorts of noises and it kept picking up on my mic. So I just thought I'm just gonna wait until I fix that before I even tried recording. And well, now it's not popping up in the recording anymore, so that's good. There's also been work I've been having to deal with, so there was that as well as a surgery I have to go through in like 2 days. So yeah, just a lot been going down, but I decided, you know what? No more procrastinating. Let's just get to work. I'm sorry if the recording sounds a bit funny. I'm still experimenting with microphone and stuff, and if it sounds weird, I will fix that in the next video as much as I can. But if it sounds alright, just let me know. So let's just go ahead and get back to this game. So where we last left off is that this baby alien whale thing basically lost his mother, and another whale who also lost their baby has adopted him.
The miracle of Brillos is not that other creatures can live inside the whales. This sort of arrangement is not uncommon. You, the viewing audience, have countless residents inside your own body.
Hold on, this is a little loud for me. Down a bit.
The miracle of Brillo whales is their ability to pick and choose their occupants.
I might also turn down the audio from here as well. It's always like, for some reason, all the way to the max, no matter how many times I pull it down. Pull them all back down. Hope this won't be too quiet for everybody. Alright, return.
Our whale will now begin this process of selection. Providing a backdrop for the next chapter is another amazing marine animal whose colourful anatomy can construct whole ecosystems. Our Earth audience will find it a familiar species. It is the reef-building coral. A bikini fish gently picks her way along a mountainous path of calcium carbonate exoskeletons. It's her daily prowl for food, and something tasty has her attention. Plump, bite-sized greebles are entrenched in the nooks below. It'll take her quite a bit of work to pry them out. As the bikini calculates the best approach of attack, her preparations are interrupted. She joins the other fish fleeing for their lives. A higher caste of the food chain steals the scene.
Alright.
It's a spotted barnacle claw.
Oh no. Look at this one guy screaming.
The yank extracts the entire colony hiding below.
Look at this, there's a whole chain.
Dissatisfaction. This isn't a meal fit for a leviathan. They will continue browsing for something more substantial. Our whale watches the drama unfold from a safe distance, somewhat.
I'm so sorry, it still sounds way too loud. Why did it go back up? I just put it down. Hold on. Okay, the volume of the voice can stay up, but everything else needs to go down, because this thing is like screaming in my ear at this point.
In the 6 years since we last rejoined him, the Great Reef has not run short of new surprises.
It's still
At
so
least he still has
adorable.
someone familiar to rely on.
That is less
Mother
adorable.
is usually out of sight, but never too far away. She has changed quite a great deal since we last saw her.
Yeah, it definitely does look like that.
Perhaps in response to the penumbra shark attack, she has undergone a zealous application of eye spots to her figure. While not as outwardly apparent, our young whale's body has undergone an even more radical change. His skin layers and immune system have fully developed and are ready to host other species. This dermatological puberty is the crossroad. He must decide what sort of Brillo he will become. How does a young whale make such a crucial decision? The choices are overwhelming, the combinations are infinite, and mistakes are fatal.
Yeah, I can imagine there would be like a lot of choices.
One way to ensure future success is to replicate past success. Brillo youths find a welcoming adult and attempt to fashion themselves in their likeness. The older whale assists with offerings of seeds, eggs, larvae, and other materials needed to begin the garden. The younger whale remains close for the years after, learning new behavior from the adult.
That's kind of cute.
Not every option available to a young whale is desirable. This old-timer is welcoming, but our whale is visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, these guys still creep me out.
Imagine why. But on the other hand, another young Brillo might happily accept this body plan. What shapes such individual preference? Realistically, there are far too many influences to chart, but from our limited data, there is one factor that stands out. We estimate that half of Brillos choose to replicate their own mothers.
I mean, that makes sense. If they lived long enough to give birth, then they must have been successful at some point.
These ribbon plants are the same variety she once wore. Our calf returns here every day. But it is no use. This Brillo whale is deceased. Nothing but a cleaned skeleton remains beneath the foliage.
Almost nothing. Our optics technician noticed a strange blip while alternating camera modes. Zooming in and switching to infrared, show an ordinary thermal image. As expected, the plants are close to the ambient ocean temperature. But after several seconds, the intermittent blinking resumes. This is an older model IR strobe, typically worn attached to the helmet or vest for identification in emergency situations.
Oh.
Upon retrieving the device and referencing the serial number, we can confirm this deceased whale was the first Brillo ever encountered by humans.
Oh.
The story dates back to the early days of outpost Zeta's construction. A fishing boat
Alright, so we're getting a backstory on this one.
weather forecast and went to sea collecting crab traps. Conditions deteriorated faster than his optimistic assumptions. The boat was smashed by a wave while returning to harbour. In the aftermath, 2 deckhands were found missing. Lodestar 1, a heavy aerial command ship able to withstand the violent winds, took off from Vajrapani Airport to begin the search. Scanning the roiling wave below, aided by GPS tracker and IR beacons, the 2 shipmates were located. They were together and clinging for their lives to some unidentified debris. The airplane circled in the turbulent sky above, tracking.
I am concerned if my voice is actually being overheard from all of this, because last time I was trying to record this thing was like 10 times louder than my own voice and you could barely hear me. I hope I don't get through that same issue.
After further storm-related delays, RRH 307 Kingfisher launched, flying low to keep beneath the still formidable clouds. The following are archive recordings from that day.
Lodestar. Received. Briefing said our guys were hiding in a cave. Is there a PIW?
Negative. Survivors are inside some kind of raft. It's the raft that's now moving.
Roger. Okay, got eyes on it now. Visual on the survivor, Captain.
Altitude. Altitude.
I see him. Gonna bring it close as I can. Our guy won't be swimming far with these waves.
Altitude. Altitude.
Copy that. Almost directly over him. Forward 15 feet. Hold. Holding. Rescue diver's checklist complete. Sending him down. He's in. Video link is live.
Heads up, Kingfisher. A couple big waves are headed your way. About 20 seconds.
Copy. I think he'll make it to the raft before the swell hits.
10 seconds.
Almost seems like the raft is moving towards him.
That is horrifying. I'm sorry, I cannot handle the ocean. That is terrifying.
Kingfisher? What's your status? Kingfisher? Respond.
Yeah, everyone's all alive for now. If it was gonna eat him, it would have done it already, right? Let's get them in the chopper before we find out.
Again, that is horrifying.
There's another one.
There's just an eye.
Great. Lodestar, any thoughts?
Felix, I don't think there's any protocol for this in the handbook.
I don't imagine there could be a protocol in the handbooks. What do you do when an alien whale is coming up to you?
I think they're coming to us. Hey, can we keep him, Dad?
Can we keep him, Dad?
If you want to see Monster, then you'll have to feed and walk it yourself. Oh, shucks. You think I'm not old enough to care for a pet? Diver's headed back down. Second rescue in progress.
307 Kingfisher. Lodestar is peeling off. Good work down there.
Much obliged, Lodestar. We'll include you in the highlight reel.
Thanks. Hey, and CC that footage to the bio nerds too. I bet they flip.
The bio-nerds, here referring to scientists of Station Zeta Laboratories, soon received copies of this material. They did indeed flip.
Alright, thank you for letting us know that they flipped.
While it is interesting that the garden can partially survive on, none of it can be transferred without the living adult to help. Our whale must find comfort in the familiar scent and touch. However, time spent on what he cannot have is time wasted. Waiting too long to start a garden could bring other health complications. He will have to move on. Our whale goes on a search for another plant-based Brillo. For reasons unknown, such Brillos are conspicuously absent this season. It seems as if anything resembling his mother has migrated elsewhere. One single exception is discovered. And he is a spectacular example of aquatic foliage. The shaggy coat is as full and beautiful as the late mother's. But not all Brillos are welcoming. Day after day, he
You hear
tries
my
to
bird?
draw the adult into
Oh,
play.
I hope it's not
Day
being
after
picked
day,
off.
receives the cold shoulder. The adult flatly refuses to acknowledge his existence. This male has tunnel vision on the single purpose of mating. Babysitting is not on the agenda. We watch an attempt to woo a female fail pitifully. She is clearly put off by his little sidekick,
I swear, the child's not mine.
tugging roughly on his leaves. Days of pent-up agitation are suddenly unloaded. Our whale is chased off at the point of a skewer. It may
Poor
feel
little
like a painful sacrifice, but a plant body is not an option. There's a dizzying amount of other choices remaining, and one of them will have to do. Another morning dawns. nocturnal animals have returned to slumber and the frantic energy of diurnal animals resumes. For our researchers, every day following the whale is a journey into an uncharted wilderness. Only a small fraction of the species here have been recorded. And there is so much inexplicable behavior.
Hold on. What the heck am I looking at here? There is how did this even happen? What type of scenario would this type of weirdness happen? There is just so much going on that my brain just cannot comprehend on. This poor bird. It just came down to grab a fish only to get caught up in this mess. What the heck? Why? Why is this happening? I don't even think I can explain this type of behavior. The closest this makes me think of is this phenomenon known as the rat king, where a bunch of rats, if they're enclosed in a small areas, their tails kind of get stuck together. But that is nothing compared to what the heck's going on with it. I mean, it's close, but not exactly. So again, I cannot explain what the heck's going on right here. Wish I can. I can't.
Recent discoveries have centered on the varieties of coral present. The reef itself is now understood to be a multi-layered structure. Progress and knowledge march forward through tireless work, but we often share in our young whale's bewilderment. Who is this?
Who is this?
What is on his head?
I don't know.
What is going on?
Well, exactly what is going on? I don't know. I wish I could answer that. There's just so much going on I cannot explain.
We do not know.
We do not know, then why ask us? We don't know either.
Our whale runs away.
Poor
and we
whale.
simply follow. One afternoon, it seems our young whale's persistent searching has been rewarded. A loud song heralds him from the distance.
Huh.
A Brillo hunting party returns. Their high spirits means that all had a good kill. The
That's
great
good.
is calling to our whale. Our youth remains in place but allows the adult to approach. These whales are sophisticated pack hunters. The chowper, a stupid but friendly shark, totally accepts the Brillos as their own.
Just call these sharks stupid. I mean, they do look pretty goofy. Look at that little face.
Compared to the painful transmogrification other Brillos endure, this silky costume is minimally invasive and provides maximum returns. And it's a plant. This successful symbiosis strategy is limited only by the pack's willingness to share it with others. An open invitation from the leader is a golden opportunity. Something isn't right. Our whale is fixated on the chowper.
Yeah, I was already thinking.
It is a tragedy that our whale seems unable to tolerate sharks of any kind.
I mean, I don't blame them. If the guy lost their mother shark, of course they're gonna be skittish around
Over
other
the
sharks.
weeks, we observe our subject whale becoming increasingly distressed. It is critical he suppress unpleasant feelings and adopt a symbiosis plan. A Brillo whale cannot survive unplanted.
Yeah, it looks like
He
he's
can perceive
taking
himself
small.
failing to integrate, of course, but the building internal agitation is not a force that will help him adapt better. Autumn draws to a close. Several new varieties of Brillo begin to arrive from colder latitudes. These are mostly hunter archetypes who can live a life less dependent on the reef's concentrated bounty. A camouflaged whale waits for prey to swim near.
Okay, now this would be a very cool ability to have as a being able to camouflage. It could help protect you from predators and help sneak up on prey. Our little guy should definitely go for this.
Active camouflage or adaptive camouflage refers to skin coloration that can rapidly shift to match a changing environment. These octopus have linked their tentacle nerve endings together, allowing them to network visual information between all bodies. Color change is omnidirectional, instant, and accurate. The swiftness and precision of these changes exceeds any Earth octopus ability. They are not the only example of animals here possessing very advanced skin chromatophores. Researchers hope to understand why they have evolved in more sophisticated fashion than their Earth counterparts. While this documentary is restricted to its limited mandate, we believe in good faith that the following question is unavoidable and must now be answered. Why would a species on another planet have an Earth counterpart?
I was starting to think though, why the heck was there so many creatures that look?
Convergent evolution was the obvious first hypothesis. This is the phenomenon where different species can evolve similar features when faced with the same evolutionary pressure. For example, we can find similarities in the wings of unrelated flying vertebrates. Similar problems craft similar solutions. While this obviously still holds true, it is not the answer to our question. This lizard looks like an Earth chameleon.
Huh?
This whale looks like an Earth whale, because they share a recent common ancestor with Earth animals. The true answer is directed panspermia.
Right, what the?
It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it, so Aristotle advised us. In that high-minded spirit, we can look back at Francis Crick as one of biology's fearless thinkers. He is best known for his work with James Watson, uncovering the structure of DNA more than a century ago. This earned them and Maurice Wilkins the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1962. He was also uncomfortably acknowledged by 20th century colleagues as a proponent of directed panspermia, that a deliberate extraterrestrial origin to life on Earth should be taken into serious consideration. While Crick's hypothesis fails to match our current best understanding, his unorthodox thinking landed him closer to the truth than any of his contemporaries could have believed.
Okay, why did the music all of a sudden get louder again? Why does it keep going up? I swear, it's not just me, right? It's going up.
We were thinking about the problem at the right time, and then the two of us, by collaborating, when one of us got on the wrong track, the other one could get us out of it. If I thought there were three chains at one stage, you were sure there were two. If you thought that the phosphates had to be in the middle, then I would be the devil's
You know, I'm just turning off the music altogether and putting it very, very.
solving structures of this kind, because the difficulty is that you've got to give several logical steps one after the other. If you go wrong, one person gets too fond of their own ideas. I think another thing which helped us in our collaboration was we weren't at least afraid of being very candid to each other, to the point of being rude. And if you don't have constant interchange and chatting together and saying what you think of the other people's ideas to their face, I don't think you can solve problems of this kind.
Okay, I think that was it. Click to return. Oh my gosh! Okay, I just got ear raped right there. What the heck? Why? Okay, yeah, so it's not just me. This thing keeps on changing. Stop. Please. Stay low. The settings should not be changing like this.
Life on Earth originated on Earth. Abiogenesis took place in deep-sea hydrothermal vents approximately 3.7 billion years ago. Recent history has revealed that 3 other planets also sustain life. and Earth 2.
Hey, what should we name this planet? Earth 2.
Due to their similarities.
Alright, so all the other planets got unique name. We have Arya, I think that's how you would say it, and Goz, or Gauze, or whatever that. And then Earth 2. You couldn't have come up with another name like the other one. Just had to call it Earth 2. Alright, gotcha.
But it may be more accurate to
Sounds like someone got a little bit lazy when they naming that planet.
They were barren until intentionally planted from Earth's highly evolved genetic stock. Isolated across light years of space, the forces of evolution then wrought divergent results. Along a different but always familiar timeline, all three bloomed into wonderful new cradles of complex life. This brief summary does not do justice to the incomprehensibly convoluted and ongoing work of planetary curation. But suffice to say, even the professionals struggle to grasp a simplified understanding.
Alright, now we're just back to the original timeline.
This kind of strategy requires a good deal of patience. Our whale, sensing the hunter, swims wide. The camo whale politely hails him. Other Brillo whales aren't the target of his trap. Our whale replies with mistrust and leaves. Something is wrong. Our whale's once irrepressible curiosity has grown increasingly muted.
What's wrong with
Even
them?
wonders like bioluminescence provokes no reaction. These lamplighter fish are practicing their jousting in preparation for the annual mating competition. The event is soon. It's only a one-night affair, and they will all die immediately afterwards.
Oh, so they're like that one insect. I can't remember what they're called, but they literally just live for like one night. And then just immediately die.
We think it would be quite the enriching spectacle. But the fish seem to be of no interest. Our research objectives all involve how a planted Brillo changes gene expression throughout its life. An unplanted whale is no use to us. There is a fear that our biometric implants have been invested on a losing whale. But before we can discuss
I don't think
contingency
that.
plans, our Brillo finally begins to break bad habits. This unknown youth has snagged a lamplighter and presents it now to our whale. Perhaps he was enthused to share his catch and our whale happened to be closest. Brillo interactions can be opaque, but these two have clearly hit it off. For once, our whale does not withdraw. He is proactively engaging instead of passively responding. It's a much welcome scene, but it begs the question, what changed? What external factors could have contributed to a more outgoing posture? Did our cameras miss a life-changing event? Does this stranger seem less threatening than all the others? It is true that our whale, having been born outside the herd, has consistently lacked peer contact his own age. Young Brillos cannot transmit garden organisms between each other, so the interaction here probably feels less fraught than it might with an adult who could permanently dose him with life-altering symbiosis. We hypothesize that juvenile Brillo association is a necessary prior step to adult interaction. Regardless of how correct this assertion is, it successfully buys our study additional time. The two whales spend the rest of the day playing and are still chasing fish together when we leave them. Night falls, but our whale is not asleep. GPS coordinates show he's swimming somewhere.
Where is he going?
Behavior is still under scrutiny. The team moves to investigate. A spotlight is aimed overboard. We discover more than just our whale. He is traveling with a pod of other youths. They all sing with curiosity at the sudden lights shining from above. We cut the power to further disturbance. It's soon clear where the Brillos are headed. The first glimmers of action.
Oh no, that's beautiful. I'm guessing these are the little fish that we saw earlier. I mean, they mentioned about this whole display thing that they're gonna do in order to attract a male. Or mate, that's what I was trying to say.
Spilling bioluminescence into the water.
Hold on, I need to stretch. Now, get back.
They shine with complete indifference to predators attacking. Known as predator satiation, there are simply too many to all be eaten.
Okay, yeah, that is just.
Full of glowing fish bits.
If I could have this as like a wallpaper, I would. Any way I can like get rid of the text just for a little bit? Yeah, I don't think there is. But again, if I could have this like a wallpaper, I guess.
It seems like he'll be up all night with the others. Confident in his safety, we recall our camera drones to finish their scheduled recharge. By blocking wave activity, the barrier reef creates a wide lagoon behind it. The placid water stretches for several kilometers before being overtaken by a mangrove forest. Parts are so shallow that they become exposed to air at low tide. At high tide, other areas are deep enough for a troublesome young whale to get lost in.
Little crab.
His friends weren't adventurous enough to follow him today. And for good reason.
That face.
As our whale realizes
He's
once
like,
the water
uh-oh.
level starts to drop again.
That ain't good.
There's no time to play with the locals. The outgoing seawater.
I swear,
trees
this
are
guy's
several
face that he
deep
keeps
channels.
making are so funny.
Whisked through the trenches, our whale rides the rip current to safety, with no control over where it's taking him. After a lengthy ride, he is spat out far from where he began. This is the end of the Great Reef. It's exposed and dangerous territory, but our whale can't help himself from having a look around. There's a sudden realization that he's being watched. Something is stirring within the cave behind him. It's another Brillo whale. Our whale approaches, but there is no friendly greeting. This isolated loner is an exile from the herd.
Excellent.
Banishment is reserved for excessive violence against fellow Brillos. Most likely, it was a mating joust that escalated to fatal combat.
Yeah, probably stay away from this guy then, if he was exiled for violence.
A deteriorated mental state from years of isolation is what has made him truly dangerous.
Yeah, again, stay away from this guy, please.
Our Brillo can understand that a noiseless approach signals an attack. He whistles another greeting. It's met with an oppressive silence. The crown of a shark's jaw attests to this whale's staggering strength.
I think it's pretty terrifying.
A secret weapon lies inside the crow's nest atop his hardened armor. The Vorpix octopus wakes when it senses a kill is imminent.
Oh, octopus.
He serves the role of a hunting partner who swims in advance. Usually it latches over the eyes of prey and attacks with its serrated beak. But when prey is so pitifully weak, he prefers to spectate.
This guy sounds pretty sadistic.
Our whale is far from being scared.
Like, nah, this guy is way too pitiful. I'm just gonna watch him get brutally murdered.
experiencing a whole other emotion. He knows.
He knows what?
This was unexpected. Abandoning caution, the calf sings and plays like he's found a new friend.
Probably shouldn't do that, buddy.
He goes in for a nuzzle and the harsh exterior cracks.
Okay, this is just too...
How long has it been since the old-timer experienced any warmth of companionship? Maybe having a little apprentice killer won't be so bad.
Apprentice killer? What does that mean? Mean killing preys or other whales? Because that could mean both things.
He grunts, struggling to remember a song.
I'm just gonna assume the first one.
This isn't the scene of bloodshed that the octopus wanted.
I'm sorry, you don't get to see your little bloodshed show, little octopus.
It seems he's witnessed this cycle once before, as he knows what must be done.
What cycle? Guess we'll figure it out right now.
This animal is negligibly senescent, meaning it expresses no evidence of biological aging. It's one of the only long-lived cephalopods.
So it lives
in the
forever.
world.
Or it just looks like it doesn't age at all.
Our researchers suspect this octopus to be at least 4 centuries old. And
4
cephalopods that
centuries?
survive so long possess a deep
That is
intelligence.
old.
The Vorpix presents our whale with a living piece of the armor plating.
Eh?
A quick feel for the soft spot.
Oh. Why did you stab? Why did you stab the whale? You stabbed the whale.
When the young whale wakes up, the implant will already have sprouted roots to hold firmly fixed in his skin.
Okay, so the whale did not die, but still, you stabbed the whale. You took that thing and jammed it into its skull. What the heck?
With this major milestone now documented, the mobile lab departs and will not rejoin the whale again. until
Why
it is
not?
Implants will continue to transmit information about his physical development for a 20-year remote observation period. This also ends the documentary team's access to the whale and concludes the first phase of our project. For us, raw data is far less compelling than first-hand observation of his body being reconstructed. 20 years is a long time for impatient humans to wait. When we do meet our whale again, it is hard to guess now what we might find.
Well, I want to know what the guy looks like
2 decades
now.
realized in a single moment. It should be nothing short of a complete metamorphosis.
So that's just it. That it? Okay, I
This
guess.
concludes South
Yep,
Scrimshaw
that's
Part
it.
1. Please keep designated channels open for the transmission of Part 2.
Alright, let me just go right here real quick. So, that was an interesting. Definitely not what I was expecting from. There was definitely some parts I didn't like. But a lot of I did like, especially when they try to use, like, actual scientific stuff to why creatures are the way they are. And it's actually cool. Especially since I'm someone who's on animals. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I do hope we get to see more land creatures, though, at some point throughout this game. Just part 1 to this game. Because we know there are land creatures. We've seen the bird from literally the first few seconds of the game. And then, just a few minutes ago, the whale ended up seeing another bird on land. And we've seen the map. We see there's land areas. So there's definitely some creatures on there. And I would like to see what they look like, too, compared to our sea creatures. But I doubt that they would go really in detail with those creatures compared to so far seems the story is towards the. I just don't see the reason why they would something. I don't know, some kind of cat creature on like some kind of mammal. So I mean, this was a lot of fun. I would definitely suggest you play this game completely free, and you can play it on this. So definitely go give this a try. It was a lot of fun. I don't think there's anything else I can say about this except peace out, peeps.